Good morning, ducks! Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Duck Adventure for July the 12th. I'm absolutely complete. You have no... Actually, I'm more physically wasted right now than I was when Colin killed me with the pen. As you know, I told you, well, actually it's been a couple days since I've done a video, but I said, you know, we had a predator problem. Something was happening here that, you know, Doug and I were having a hell of a time trying to nail down. And I had to make the big decision on the Duck Adventure as far as the predator situation, which meant I had to get the bush cutter out and start seriously weed whacking. So I got my neighbor here. He's a farmer down the road. It was 150 bucks, guys. Best money I ever spent. But I killed my neighbor. Oh, I murdered him actually. He thinks I'm a little crazy at the pace I work, but I had to do this because something was coming into the yard and taking ducks, and I'm going to go down to the swamp and show you what I just saw out of my bedroom window. But I made a serious dent in it, serious dent. So I cut all of this back here. I went back, you know, a good 40 feet into the bush. Now something keeps showing up here, and Doug is not liking it. I don't know what it is, but I've cut the stuff back here so that there's no way that anything can hide. Right now he's barking at crows. Dougie, we went crazy yesterday. Like, look at this, guys. You can see right through everywhere. I'm telling you, my body is so wiped out. We had to do it yesterday. I started on Sunday, but we had to finish yesterday what I was doing because we've got a crazy heat wave. Actually, the warnings all over the internet. They're calling for something like 34 degrees, Hemodex at like 40, and like the warnings are basically don't do anything outside for the next 3 days. Now, right now it's really, really cool out, which I don't understand because it was supposed to be really hot. But just look at this. Like, that's wide open. If anything shows up here, anything, I'm going to be able to get a shot, or Doug's going to be able to chase it. It was murder. And thankfully, I took the Argo and packed everything down because it made a huge difference cutting. Because it was only green cutting, but it was still brutal. Oh man, I am so sore. I'm completely wiped out actually. I don't have any energy left, and I've still got some work to do. Holy mackerel, the deer fly are crazy this morning. Now, I'm not done. I've got probably about an acre of bulrushes to do, but they're much easier than, oh, sorry guys, camera's shaking because I'm getting eaten by deer fly. I've got all the bulrushes over there, but they're much quicker going than what I did here. Now, we were over here yesterday. Okay, we were over here yesterday. Oh, I'm trying to think here. Like, I'm trying to think. It was mid-afternoon. We were in this area. And we've had a death, and it's looking like a goose. Something came into the yard here, and I have no idea when. Like, it's I'm baffled when this happened, because I was cutting here. Like, oh man, I'm trying to think. Like it's I'm trying to think what time I stopped. It was like 5:30. Like, it looks like goose. The down. It's got that really, really, really thick down, but I don't get it when it happened. Like, honestly, guys, like we were out here all day cutting. And there's 4 spots. I'll show you the 4th spot, which is over here. But there's like no sign of blood. Just a ton of down. And like I said, the down looks like it's got that goose down feel to it. It's like we've lost a goose. Now there is this path right here when I was cutting. That was the only path that I found on the property. Now, problem is it could be Doug's path. But it wasn't here yesterday. Like, we cut this all yesterday. Like, this was afternoon cutting this whole area. I just don't get it when it happened. Like, unless it happened last night, you know, sometime when I quit to, you know, lock the ducks up. Now, Doug did lose it last night when I was locking the ducks up, and he came down here and refused to come back to the house. But my suspicions were correct. There is something here. Like, actually, okay, there's feathers in this spot too. It looks like this thing, whatever it was. Oh, there's blood. There's the blood on that feather. So it looks like it's, I don't know if it got the duck originally here or the goose, and then went over to there, and then over to here, and then exited over there. When I looked out my bedroom window and I saw this morning, I was like, okay, how did this happen with me out here? Like, we were out here all day cutting, like, anyways, so we've lost something. Something's here. I've got to, Doug's just disappeared into the bush again. We gotta, you know, well, this is gonna make it a lot easier. They're not gonna be able to sneak in and, you know, get anything. Holy moly, guys, the deer fly are crazy this morning. So I cut all over there. You can see the line. I've got more cutting. I'm gonna be doing it early in the mornings because with this heat wave, I've got to get it done. Something is darting in to the property, and I got to make it so that it's impossible. But I've cut everything. There's no place for anything to hide now. Like nothing. More bad news. The little duck that had its neck ripped open died yesterday. It passed away. It was sad. It wasn't getting any better. It was too severe. I'm really, really upset about this situation here. Like, whatever it was, it killed the duck and it literally tore it apart right here. It didn't even go to hide. Like, more blood. Little chunk of skin, actually. It tore the bird apart right here in the open. This is not good, guys. And the worst part is that from the house, this area, I can't see it because of the trees. I'm not about to cut all the trees down. There's a lot of cutting. Plus, you know, most of the biggest trees that are in the way are the duck shade in the pen. But I'm not liking this at all. I'm having a hard time with this after all the work I did to open this up. Certainly looks like goose. Has that goose downy feel to it. The fact that Doug last night lost it was down here because he took off into the bush or down into the swamp here when I was up there letting the ducks put the ducks back in the pen. I can't even talk, I'm so tired. I gotta go do an edit too because I didn't edit yesterday. Well, I did some editing in the morning, a couple hours worth, but never got the episode done, and then I had to you know, get in here and start cutting so that it would be wide open. So what we're witnessing right now, it wouldn't happen, and it did anyways. But what when I looked out the bedroom window and I saw the white this morning in the swamp, I was like, this isn't good. That means it's happened. But I'm just going to keep the rifle handy because that's a rifle shot at that distance. Oh man, I'm really upset about this. But a little more cutting will make it impossible for them to sneak up, and sooner or later I'll get it. And the deer fly, I think the deer fly have probably crawled across my lens here a couple times. So the view is much more open. Didn't seem to deter what it came in yesterday, whatever came in yesterday, I mean. Doug's gone though. Just listen to them behind me here. They won out bad. Alright, let's let the duckies out and get on with my day here. I gotta get my edit done. And I gotta wash the hatcher out today because it's too hot to do anything else. I'm coming right now. Is it ever getting loud? Oh, I'm upset, man. We lost something yesterday. That's not good. Not good at all. Oh, boys, they're rushing me. Okay, I saw an egg, guys, and now the egg's broken and gone. I had my head turned because Doug was barking. I think something was in the yard. Doug's awful interested in smelling the ground here. Was something here last night, Doug? He's not liking the swamp. When we were cutting yesterday, Doug was running the swamp hard, like really hard. He my neighbor couldn't believe how hard Doug works. He says, nothing will come into the property with Doug running and barking down there. But he must have took a break because something came into the yard or into the swamp and killed one of our birds. I'm hoping it wasn't a couple birds. Back on predator patrol. Okay, Doug's he's not liking this. What is it? Is there something here? What is it, Doug? You smell something? Going down to the swamp. Like I said yesterday, guys, he ran the swamp when we were cutting, and when I was cutting the side of the property, he kept running down to the swamp barking. Something's causing us problems. All right, let's let these little guys out and do the back ducklings to the front. You want out this morning, don't you? Come on out. Okay, the gate's open. Come on out. I wonder who's still in the barn. Oh, there might be nobody in the barn. I'm gonna get the water ready, and then we'll let the ducklings out from the back. They're on a mission. Let's look at them go. I'm really upset that we lost something down in the swamp, guys, after all that hard work I did down there. It's sort of ironic, you know, I cleared out the whole swamp and I find, you know, a dead duck. And the crazy part was when we were cutting, I never found any feathers. I didn't find any trails except that one trail. Like it was, I was shocked when I was cutting that we didn't find anything. And then this morning, you know, there you go. You know, duck down, or a goose down. I think it was a goose. Whatever it is, Doug is on patrol there. And that's what he did all day yesterday when we were working. He kept going down there and running the bush and going back to my neighbor's property. Something's here, or was here, and Doug's smelling it. I'd like to know when we lost that duck. I wonder if it was last night. Alright, well, let's go in. Alright guys, well let's get the ducklings out here, and time for me to start doing some practice shots with the rifle. I don't understand how anything could come here with the amount of running Doug does in the bush. Last 4 days, Doug's been like crazy active, you know, running down there. Oh man, this is the part I hate, you know, when Mother Nature comes here and starts feeding. Well, I'm gonna get the chainsaw out. I just made the decision here while I was doing my water chores for the ducks. I've got to not cut the big trees here that we're seeing to the left in the screen, but I've got to clear that view so that I can get a shot off, because there's too many obstructions for that view for me to, you know, one, to see a predator really easily, and two, get a shot off. So I'm going to get the chainsaw out here while I've got the tractor with the chains on it, and I can just drag the small trees I cut down here and into the bush. But let's let the ducklings out first, and then I'll nip those trees down before it gets hot, because the sun's just coming out now and the temperature's starting to climb. I can feel it actually, so I want to get that done before it hits the heat wave status that we're in store for today. Well, they almost beat me out. I gotta clean the barn today too. Lots of jobs in the heat. I was out front doing the water, and I said, there's no ducks in my yard. And I realized that 2/3 of the flock is down at the creek, and the other third is down at the edge of the pen here. We got some hardcore here in the cool water. They're cleaning themselves up. We've got a bunch, the younger ones are down here at the edge, but the horde is down at the creek. Now there's a bunch actually out at the lake swimming. They're out there. I'm gonna get the chainsaw happening here. Cut those trees down so I have a better view to take a shot in the swamp when I have to. Holy moly guys, it's getting hot fast. I just finished cutting. I gotta have a quick shower so I can do my edit. I gotta get my edit done before it gets so hot that I can't sit at the desk without sticking to it. And then I'll come back, and then I will come back out here in the heat, and I'm gonna skid all these the brush, the hedge that I just cut down. Which ironically, you know, I planted this hedge many years ago, and I really don't know why, because I thought it would be neat to have a line of cedar trees along the edge of my lawn at the swamp, and probably one of the silliest things I ever did. Which, by the way, I'll tell you a little story. When I did it, what happened was I was using mushroom compost, same stuff from my garden actually, and I had poison ivy on my leg. And it was blistered, and the mushroom compost got into the poison ivy, and I ended up developing a infection, which the doctors thought was flesh-eating disease. And I remember my leg, it was an unbelievable amount of pain, and it was a massive wound. It was eating into my muscle. It was a big hole, and I was at the hospital by myself in the morning, and nobody even knew I was at the hospital because I was laying in bed with a fever, and I said, I should go to the hospital. And I was laying there, and the doctor said to me that they were considering amputating my leg, because that's when all the flesh-eating disease scare was on. And I was like, no way, man, you're not cutting my leg off. So I basically checked myself out of the hospital, came home, and wrote it out, and it went away. It healed. Took a long time, a couple weeks. But I was freaked out that day. I was laying there in the hospital in the emergency, and the doctors were standing over top of me talking about cutting my leg off above the knee. And I was like, that would have seriously screwed my life up. But anyways, it didn't happen because I checked myself out. I wasn't staying for that. So I've got the hedge, back to the hedge. That's just a crazy story, which was another thing in my life that's happened to me. So back to the hedge, guys. It's wide open now, so I can see it. You know, from wherever I'm standing in the yard, I can see now right down there, and I can get a clear shot off if I have to. No more guessing to see if, you know, if something's down there. So I went down in the swamp and I cut some other trees down. So it's wide open. So I'm going to take the tractor later with the chains, and I'm going to drag all that brush out of there. And then on this side, I cut some more out just so that when I come around the edge of the barn, I can see into the swamp. I left 3 of them there, which I probably will end up cutting down, because from the garage it really screws up the view to the swamp to watch the ducks at the creek. But I'll drag all that away later when it's hotter. But she's wide open now. So it's time to get my my new target set up with that big plate of steel. Time to start doing the morning routine of, you know, fire a shot off to scare whatever's away, and make sure that I'm, you know, up to speed on you know, pulling the rifle up to the shoulder and popping a shot off and hitting the target every single time, because that's the way it happens. You know, when the coyotes show up or the fox, you never get 2 shots. It's one only, unless you wing it. If you wing it, then you get a second shot. But if you don't hit it the first time, second shot, it's only in the movies it works. So I've got to get proficient to the point that one single shot with no hesitation, I can hit the target. So I got to set my target up today. And this is all that's in the yard, guys. The rest of the ducks are down at the lake playing in the water. Once I finish cutting the bulrushes, we'll be able to see them. I got a little bit of work to do here. Just a touch. They're there. Playing in the water. No. Just looking here. See there, the bulrushes are screwing us up right now. Doug's on the ball though. He's I was cutting the trees, and Doug was running down at the swamp just barking his face off. Something's here, you know, which I know because we lost the duck yesterday. And Doug knows it, and he keeps going down there barking. So I'm gonna go do my edit, and then we're gonna come back out and do some work in the real the mega heat actually that's coming. I got to clean the barn today. That's actually the first thing I'm going to do when I come back out. What a brutal day. It's like 2:30. I just got my edit done. Poor Dougie has been working like so hard. He's been like running, like look at him panting. He's dying here, panting and running, and we had a lot of crap happening here today. I'm not kidding you. During the edit, it was a big edit, and it should have, taken me half the time it took to do it. But between Doug freaking out, he was laying on the back deck here and just losing his marbles, and I kept coming out, and the ducks they come up the creek and they go back up out to the water. And basically what I ended up having to do is I emptied a couple clips, just randomly shooting, because something was here. Something was coming in because Doug wouldn't calm down. And then we had an incident just before I did the rounds, because after this incident I said I had to go down and clear the swamp. But what happened is something was here. The ducks went up the creek back out to the lake. I turned my head when I was looking at my computer, and I looked out the window and I saw the ducks just rushing back out onto the water, and Doug took off. He accidentally stepped on a duckling and basically just crushed it. I had to put it out of its misery. Like I'd hang on to the poor duckling and its head would droop over and fall over, and Doug, I guess, stepped on it like a complete direct plant, and crushed it. Both legs were flat right out. It was done. I had to take care of it really quick. And that's when I decided I'm just going to take the gun, and I shot like two full clips off in the swamp, made just a ton of noise. But something, even with Doug running down to the swamp and running right down to the right down to the bowels of the swamp at the creek, whatever is coming in is not intimidated by Doug, which makes no sense because Doug is full bore, going down there and going at it. So I have no idea what this is, or if it's a couple, or if it's a fox and a coyote, or I don't know one thing. I'm back to rifle outside with me all the time. It's going to be a rifle shot. I just know it. If it's down there where we found the feathers this morning, it's not going to be a shotgun shot. It's not going to be 100 and 125 foot shot. It's going to be more like a 100-yard shot, 80-yard shot type thing. So I've got to get the tractor out. I've got to skid all the trees down that I cut. I've got to get this cleaned up so that I've got a complete clear view with nothing in the way, nothing that they can hide. And then I got to clean the barn out, because the barn absolutely has to get cleaned out today. It's pretty gross in there. Actually, it's really gross in there. I really should do the barn first, but I got to get this brush done. So I got to drag all of this with the tractor into the bush. I've cut the trees down in the swamp down here also. So I got to drag all of this out of here just so that everything's wide open so I can see to make the perfect shot. And then I got to get up early and finish the weed whacking on this side. I was this morning, but honestly, guys, yesterday I killed myself. I did, honestly, I did. My neighbor is my farmer buddy, with the geese actually, and he's a real hard worker, hard strapping boy, a young man. He's a man. He's a little bit younger than me. He's a strapping guy. Hard life farming. Him and his dad, big farm. I killed him yesterday. He had to take a lunch break, and I said I don't take lunch breaks, and he thought I was a little bit crazy. But I'm feeling it today. I know last night when I stopped at his house to pay him, and I think that's when we had the predator come in when I left the property to go pay him. So I had to run to town to the cash machine. He was hurting bad, and I was hurting bad this morning. I woke up and I was like, I wanted to get out of bed because it was only like 16 degrees Celsius here. Perfect temperature to go down there and do some work, but I couldn't even lift my head off the pillow. I was just laying there just like, I'm wiped. So tomorrow morning, hopefully I'll feel better. But I gotta go take care of this mess of all the trees I cut down, and I gotta clean the barn. But we got a perfect view now. I'm looking here, there's anything shows up now down there. I've got to, once I cut all those bulrushes, nothing's going to be able to hide. Hopefully we'll get a shot off. I'm thinking The next batch of trees I'm going to cut down is over here. This batch of brush trees. They're not even really trees. A lot of them are elm actually, which will end up just dying from Dutch elm disease. Elms never last here. Like you can see that dead one right there, that was an elm tree, and that's what happens to them. They never last. The old Dutch elm kicks in and takes them out, so I'm thinking I might take that batch of trees down too. Just open it right up so that whatever's coming in here gives me a bigger window of opportunity to, you know, to put some lead in it, put a projectile through its body. All right, I'm gonna get the tractor out, haul this away, and then we're going to the barn to clean the barn out. Well, that sucked the life out of me. My hedge is now here in a big brush pile in the bush. And now, well, one, I made a decision, guys. I took the whole hedge down. I said to hell with it, because I was walking around and that one piece of hedge that I left, it was like a blind spot. And I thought, I've had enough of this predator stuff. So we're gonna make it so like, no matter where you are, you can see the whole view of the swamp. So now it's wide open. No matter where I am, backyard, over by the garage, it's absolutely a perfect clear shot to the swamp. I left that oak tree because it sort of has sentimental value. When I moved here, it was a little tiny tree that was not even 18 inches tall. It was at the edge of my lawn at the time, and it got attacked by caterpillars. And I picked all the caterpillars off and disposed of them. And the little tree was stunted for 10 years. When I cut the hedge, I was like, I haven't looked at it in 15 years since I planted the hedge. And I was like, oh, it's actually a pretty looking little oak tree. But it's seriously scarred up. The bark and everything's all chewed up from the damage when it was a young tree from the caterpillars. But we're wide open now. Nothing, I can see absolutely everything in the swamp. Absolutely wide open now, guys. It took me 3.5 hours. It's like 6:30. I still got to clean the barn out. So tomorrow morning, we'll see what my body feels like. I'm going to do some more. Well, I'll probably do a tank of gas before the temperature starts heating up here. It seems by about 8:30, this heat wave, it's unbearable outside to do work. That's why I'm out here in the middle of the day when it's even hotter to do work. I'm a sucker for punishment. Not really. I just, when jobs have to get done, important jobs like this, like predator jobs, because I had to deal with this. I can't have a predator have the upper hand, because the ducks are out of the pen more than they are in the pen right now, and they're only in the pen to sleep at night. But when I let them out, I don't want to have, you know, where they're getting picked off. And now it's like wide open. I could even get a good shot from the bedroom window upstairs down into the swamp. I'm gonna go and get my feces shoveling shorts on and my rubber boots and clean the barn out. So I guess since I cut all the weeds in there, the gosling is in there eating the grass. Both parents are right in the yard. Actually, that gosling is turning into a goose here. Oh, they saw me. They're gone. All right, I'm absolutely beat. The sun's coming back out. We had some really dark clouds and it cooled off for a second there, and it felt like we're gonna have a thunder shower. I'm gonna go and shovel duck feces now, since I've got my duck feces shoveling shorts on. They're enjoying themselves. Pretty soon they'll be getting out here. Actually, really soon. Next couple days. What is it, Doug? It's strange to be able to see right down. It's going to make it a hell of a lot easier to protect the ducks. It's going to make it a lot easier when I get those bulrushes completely taken care of. When it's completely flat, this ain't going to be predator easy zone. We're going to make it really difficult. They're going to have to run the gauntlet of lead. But right now I'm just going to shovel duck poop. Okay, barn's done. I'm pretty close to being done also. Just got to bring the water in for the little guys in the back.
I gotta go and fill the big feeder now for the big ducks. Oh boys, I'm feeling my age today, guys. Oh, that weed whacking yesterday beat the crap out of me. 8 hours non-stop. Actually, I think it was 9 because it was like 8 to 5. Yeah, 9 hours non-stop. And then cutting that hedge down today and dragging it out. Didn't count on that job, but it's done. I really like it now. I can look down, just glance over my shoulder and see if the coast is clear and the ducks are safe. Feels so much better. All right, I gotta go. I gotta get my target out of the swamp too. I'm far from done. Well, I got the target from the swamp. It's got a serious amount of holes in it. But it's already 1/4 and I'm bagged. Plus I'm thinking I'm gonna make it smaller. I'm gonna chop about 1/3 of this off. 1/3 or about 25%. I'll decide tomorrow. I'm gonna make it a little more challenging. More challenging than this is, and if I can hit it every morning with my single shot that I take, or double shot, whatever I feel like doing in the mornings, then there's no way I can miss the, well, I shouldn't say there's no way. There's a highly unlikely chance I'm going to miss the coyote. But I got to make this target a little bit smaller. Just crank up the skill level a little bit. Alright, I'm going to have a shower. I'm absolutely wiped, guys. Whoa. Didn't count on cutting that hedge down today. Oh man, yesterday weed whacking for 9 hours solid, and today taking a hedge down. So anyways, that's it. Well, I don't know if it's safe yet, but I still gotta put the ducks away later. Probably this is it. Yeah, I'm thinking this is the end. It's so strange now I can see the ducks at the creek. And of course they have to be right at the end where the coyotes come in. There's been a group that goes down every night, right at the end of the night, and then they come back like in the dark. Sorry about the jiggling. I need to go have a shower. I feel worn out actually. I just put everybody in their spots for the night. You know, the ducklings in the back of the barn and the teenagers in the front of the barn. And this group, I'm getting up in the hot tub here. This group took off to the lake. Now, I don't know if they're going to stay down there or what the deal is. I'm going to turn the big Olympic lighting on. That seems to bring them back when it's dark. They come back towards the light. If I don't turn the big yard light on, they stay down there. So I'm going to go turn the light on, and they should come home. I don't believe it. I was rounding the ducks up and herding them into their pen, and this group took off. There's always that group at the end of the night that does that. It's like they know it. Oh, it's the end of the day. One last chance to have some fun. Alright, I'm going to go turn the light on, and that should bring them back. Usually does. Holy mackerel, it's loud here tonight. Doug has been sleeping back here on the lawn actually with the ducks, and no freaking and peeking since I went inside to cook my supper. Like, he hasn't done any bolts to the swamp at all, so that's a good sign. I'm thinking, you know, once I get those bulrushes cut and everything's wide open, Predator's going to really think twice about coming in here. He's going to have to be really hungry before he comes in to make the mistake to give me the opportunity to either shoot him or give Doug the opportunity to chase him. And don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends, and enjoy the show.